It was in this very cabinet where Kitty found a box of old blueberry muffin mix. The expiry date said not to make them after 2012, but we were adventurous and didn't care. Sort of adventurous, sort of curious. Doesn't matter. They came out not good, so they sat. Right there on the kitchen counter. We ate a couple for science. We tried to power through a couple more to not waste food, and then the rest just sat on the kitchen counter. Believe it or not, the days rolling into weeks did not improve them in the least. What could we do? What would you do in this situation? Naturally, we did what any good muffin scientist would do and left them in the yard to see what happened.
Are you talking to Muffin?
This is day 1.5 Muffin investigation.
Muffin A is shrinking from the bottom. The top is still intact, but it's getting shorter from the bottom.
Collapsing under the weight of its own hat, and the ants are running around. They seem like they're into it, forming lines, but also not as much on it as one would have thought.
Because they're underneath it, because they're taking it away from the bottom.
Oh,
that's what I'm saying.
That's what they're eating under there. Now Muffin B,
It's gone.
I thought I'd placed it right by this stick. We'll have to review further on our previous video, but it seems like it's just been completely gone, absconded by neighborhood bandicoots or hungry muffin eaters or ambitious ants.
I'm looking for like where they rejected it after taking one bite.
Our forensic team scoured the front yard looking for the missing muffin, and boy do we have great news to report.
This is exactly what I predicted was going to happen, that something was going to decide to eat it and then drop it like a few feet.
That's roughly 6 feet away from the original spot. There appears to be conclusive muffin evidence. Half of a muffin, some feral animal grabbed this stale muffin in its mouth, presumably, and it probably wasn't an ant. It was probably mammalian or bird avian. Took it roughly 6 feet from its original spot and redeposited it back in the lawn, disguised it as a potato so we can study it further, maybe tomorrow, maybe the next day if we get forgetful. There's a lot going on. This is where the muffin hat previously had been, either dissolved from underneath by ants or collapsed under its own heavy hat, heavy as the hat the muffin wears. Apparently the T-Rex was unable to defend it from absconders, and now it is not only over here, but it's been inverted. Still reasonably covered with ants, still a pretty good chunk of hat.
Did the ants do this?
What evidence would we look for to find ants dragging a muffin hat 3 feet and flipping it upside down? On to the other muffin! But it was nowhere to be found. It was gone entirely, leaving us with only the top half of Muffin A. Muffin B, gone entirely after being disguised as a potato and dragged 6 feet away. Muffin A being reduced to a hat and being dragged 3 feet away, leaving us 1/2 out of 2 original muffins. This time, everything was gone. No muffin, no hat, no trace of any baked goods whatsoever anywhere. Only grass and ants and plastic dinosaurs, and none of them were talking. After a thorough and exhaustive search, we decided the muffins were indeed gone forever. Well, there you have it. Here's what we learned. Eat your baked goods fresh, keep your hats right side up, And always, always, always keep your eyes peeled for wandering muffin eaters.